Ongeganga, ongeganga, hingingana, diggingana, squash banana, ongeganga, hingingana, diggingana, squash banana, ongeganga, hingingana, diggingana, squash banana, ongeganga, hingingana, diggingana, squash banana.
Hi guys, it's me Sam, and this video is probably going to be very short, mainly because just like I just wanted to get off my chest about some stupid stuff that happened a couple days ago. Everybody, or not everybody, a lot of people who watch my channel know that I do not like clickbait, I don't like false advertising, I don't like poor advertising, and that's those are the main three things that I don't like about YouTube sometimes, and products out there in the world. That's why I usually look into certain things before I start buying them, have first-hand experience from like a first-time purchase, and some other things here and there. So that's the reason why I don't really, I don't really condone or like false, poor, or clickbait advertising at all. As a matter of fact, I don't know why some YouTubers on YouTube even do that. It's just kind of dumb, in my opinion. But aside from that, it kind of clicked when I was at my grandparents' house the past couple days. So let me lay down the scenario for you. Or before I do that, actually, let me tell you something. When people false advertise or poorly advertise or clickbait, it's usually geared towards children or, in rarely, some cases, the elderly, because sometimes they just think something is true, and then when they're debunked about it, they're like, oh crap, I wasted my time. And the last thing you want to do for someone who's elderly or someone who's like really old is to waste their time, because they don't have a lot of time left on this earth and this universe anymore, or on this earth in general. They don't have a lot of time left, so there's no point in wasting it over some stuff that's not true, or making something that's not true. It's kind of dumb, and it kind of makes things a little bit, how you say, I don't like saying this word often, but retarded, and it just makes me upset the more I think about it. So what happened a couple days ago at my grandparents' house is we were hanging out for Father's Day for my dad and my mom's dad, which is my grandpa, and actually, my grandma, my dad, my mom, and I think that was it. They all went out to go to the store to buy some stuff, and keep in mind that most of the stuff that's close to them, they live in a rural area, so most of the stuff that's close to them is pretty far. So they had to do a decent drive. So when they came back, they bought these antennas, and I'm over here like, okay, cool, what do these do? And I read the box back, front, and it said that these antennas will allow you to connect to any tower nearby to get certain news channels and stuff. And I'm over here like, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't expect them to actually, have like an antenna geared towards channels and stuff. And as I said, I read the entire box, front, back, and on the sides, just in case it is any fine print. I didn't see much. And I went to go test these out after I unboxed it. Now, there was one red flag that I got from this product immediately as soon as I opened it. It was one, to download an app for the antenna to see if you can find any towers. Because here's the thing, a product is probably garbage or is in its beta stages if they make you download an app to help you figure that out. I mean, granted, it was an antenna, and we don't even know the location of some of the towers where my grandparents live, so it's understandable. But at the same time, when I downloaded the app while trying to test this thing, it barely ran on my phone. Like, my phone can run some games. I'm talking about Shadowgun Legends. It can run games like those. But when I was using the app, the dang thing was like having a heart attack, like most of the time while I was trying to look for a signal. And Another red flag for these antennas was that they had 2 legs that you could prop up in order to make it stand up and stuff. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. You can make it stand up so that it can stay up straight. So, like, I don't know, if you want to, like, have more room where you're putting the antenna, that's fine by me. The problem about that is that the cord that is supposed to be connected to its amplifier and to the TV that needs to be plugged into the wall, it was in between the legs, so you couldn't prop it up because the cord was in the way. You had to bend the cord in order to actually get the legs to do their thing, and even if you did, the cord would still get in the way and it'd probably fall over, so it was best to lay it flat. And then that's when I freaking took those 2 red flags and put those together, the third and final red flag set in when I saw the amount of miles that the first antenna on my phone was with the app. It was like 74 freaking miles. I'm talking about, literally, it would take, I think, if I were to prop the antenna in that direction, it would probably not even, it probably wouldn't even connect properly. You'd probably get like a hazy screen and like disconnects here and there, and that's what kind of bugged me a little bit. So I didn't went into the antennas of it, and plus my grandparents propped their TVs in weird positions. Well, not really weird. It's like understandable, like how the house would look, but it was rather, how you say, out of the way. Like, they had like their bed next to a window and they put the TV right next to it, which I'm like, okay, that's cool, but the antenna needed to connect to 4 antennas that were somewhere else, like in the house. Like, you had to like slap it like on a wall, like mount it on the wall, or like put it on the ground somewhere in the middle of the room in order to actually get a connection. And the worst part is that I think they didn't even work, because when the instructions said to do a scan the second you start using the antennas, when I did the scan quite literally just did not find any channels whatsoever. It didn't find the analog, didn't find the air. Then again, I checked the other TV. I couldn't even check channels on the TV in the living room because it wouldn't allow me to. It said that the antenna was not connected, yet I tightly jacked in the frickin' antenna to the TV. I tightly made sure the thing was tight on there, make sure it was connected, and still wouldn't register the fact that the antenna was freaking connected, which kind of bothered me. It made me a little upset that this thing wasn't working. So, aside from that, I went out of my way to go check and see what the issue was, and apparently one of the videos my dad was watching in order how to get it to work, apparently the person using it said, hey, these antennas aren't really great for people who live in rural areas. It's more like city, like if you live in a city and stuff, which, in my opinion, that has to be the biggest FU on the planet. Why would you advertise a antenna that can connect to your TV to get news channels that quite literally does not work well in rural areas? Why would you? It didn't even say that on the box. As I said, I checked that box, and I even checked the freaking instructions, and it didn't even say anything about it needed to be used in city places or like non-rural areas, because, like, come on, it didn't even say that. Why would you advertise something that freaking doesn't even mention like how it's supposed to be used? And I feel like that was a waste of time, because my grandparents, they're not tech savvy. I mean, I know they have iPhones and iPads because my parents bought them for them, and they got a new phone plan, but at the same time, they're not that tech savvy, And me being there, when I realized it was a waste of time, I had to tell them, and they were like, "Oh crap, my grandma said we gotta send those back to the store now." And I'm like, "Yeah, just gonna put them back in the box and do that." I didn't even open the second one because they bought two. They bought two. The first one I opened to check to test on both TVs, see if it would function, but I didn't even but we left the second one on the ground, and it was just a bunch of BS. I can't believe that they were advertised something that doesn't even function well outside of city areas. It's just kind of dumb. But fortunately for them, they don't, it doesn't matter to them because they have their phones and stuff to look at news channels and stuff, and my grandpa's iPad. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation, but it's not that big of a loss. But at the same time, it was a waste of time for my grandparents, so I felt I was garbage. So yeah, this is something I just want to get out of my chest. I know it's something random, like just me talking about how freaking products that are like freaking like poorly advertised or clickbaited or falsely advertised that are just straight up garbage. I've had it happen before. I've gotten a product before that was like not what it was out of the box, but at the same time, that's when I was a kid and I didn't give a crap. But after a while of watching YouTube and like gaming channels or like console review channels and stuff like that, like we're like freaking reviewing these like bootleg freaking consoles that are like worth $20 that have all these freaking classic games on there, but they don't. They just have like the basic NES library, just modified slightly and made terrible because of the controls. It was just kind of funny. It's funny that that people are still going out of their way to make falsely advertised or poorly advertised products to like clickbait you into getting them in order for them to make money. It's kind of sad that we live in this society like that, but then again, it is what it is. It's not like trying to make money out there in the world is kind of difficult nowadays due to the economy and what's going on right now, as if you guys noticed. But aside from that, yeah, just wanted to get this out of my chest. I'll see you guys next time. The next video is probably going to be a Doom video because I haven't done a Doom video in like a freaking millennia. Like, what the frick, bro? It's 2020 and I haven't done a Doom video. That's insane. But, yeah. The Doom video is probably going to be on a mod that I have to say is using the Brutal Doom engine as a benchmark. So if you see some Brutal Doom stuff, that's what it's using. But at the same time, it's work in progress. So don't take it with a grain of salt. I know some of you people who watch my channel don't like Brutal Doom. Some of you who are watching the video right now are watching me play Fortnite while making this video. Just like background footage is like some of you don't like that, but then again, I don't care. I don't care sometimes, and I know some of you don't care. Like, as long as a video is out and you guys get to enjoy it, that's fine by me. But I know some of you don't like Brutal Doom, and granted, as I said, it's a benchmark. Just take it with a grain of salt. It's still in development. It's 1.0 at the moment, and it's still being worked on. There's still some kinks. I played it. There's still some difficulty kinks that need to be worked. Like, I thought I picked the, like, okay, small little story. I picked the map set to test out the mod, and it's called Living in Doom, by the way. It's basically, it takes all the overpoweredness of being Doom guy. It takes all the, hey, I'm the man. I got all this. I could do this. I got the power and all that. It takes all the powerhouse stuff and just chucks it in the trash and just tells you, hey, you're gonna die. So either you play it safe or you die. You want that? No? Okay. So they just freaking they made the mod like that, and using Brutal Doom, it kind of fits, but at the same time, they're still working on some original content, like the assault rifles original, the shotguns original, the animations for healing yourself and stuff is original, bandages and healing lacerations is original. A bunch of stuff is original. I mean, some of it's not, because some of it's already been in Brutal Doom already, but they're using it as a benchmark, as I said, so things may change. What you may be seeing in that Doom video might have changed by now, so I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yes, the next video will be a Doom video since I haven't done one yet. So yeah, see you guys later.